Hi, I'm Priscilla Pipo with Balanced Culture Consulting, and that's Zeus. Today, I want to talk with you about the next part of our second tool in the toolbox, which is the part of Myers Briggs where we're knowing and being known. We're aware that we need to be aware of our own selves as well as the others and the needs in communication. And the third part that we're going to address in the second tool is thinking and feeling. In Myers Briggs, there are two dichotomies again, thinking and feeling, and there's a continuum on which we self report, and that means we can be more comfortable with one than the other. The truth is, we do both. We have feelings, we have thoughts, we are logical and rational, we're also emotional beings. There's some places, some areas on which we are more comfortable being either more in our feelings or more in our thinking. But let's talk about it from a Myers Briggs standpoint and why it matters when you're dealing as a leader with other people. Feelers tend to take in information based on their values and make decisions based on their values and what is important to them and what they think is important to other people. It's not that feelers are more emotional, and it's not that feelers are nicer or more thoughtful, but they are more likely to understand emotions and to understand the emotions of others. Feelers tend to go into a situation wanting to understand the other person because that's how they take information in. And again, as Myers Briggs says, that's how they make decisions. I think it's a little bit broader than that, actually. Thinkers, on the other hand, are not just logical, they're more likely to be stepping back. And you combine that with what we talked about with introversion and extroversion. Introverts tend to step back as well, right? So when you're an introverted thinker, you have to be really careful how you're coming across and you're not being aloof. But thinkers tend to step back and think logically. What are the outcomes we're looking for? What's the final goal of what's the bottom line? Where's the money going? Those are more of the thoughts that will come into play when they're making decisions. Now, why it's important, and especially understanding your team, is well, let's take it both ways. If you have a boss who is primarily a dominant thinker, and I've had them before who have no interest in how anybody is feeling when they come into it, they don't want to know what your thoughts are about it, they want to know what your actions are. They want to know where we're going with the final outcome and what are the decisions we need to make to get there. The people who have a more feeling nature, you'll notice, will tend to want to sit and talk to you for a while. If you've got a boss that invites you in and says, come sit, let's talk, and wants to spend some time. Now, if you're a dominant thinker and somebody who is more of a feeling nature is wanting to invite you in to spend more time talking, it may or may not feel comfortable. But you want to understand that people have a different proclivity, something you can observe fairly easily just with the people that you know and in your life. But it does color how we communicate and how we react to the world around us. So keep in mind when our goal as leaders is to understand others and understand ourselves so that we can be better at leading and guiding and helping people, then it's something that you want to be aware of. I'm Priscilla Pipo, and this is Balanced Culture Consulting, our Toolbox tool number 2, the third part. Look forward to seeing you back for the next part.